Namaste and welcome back to Temples, Books and Science. I am Archana Raghuram and let's continue our exploration of the Lalita Sahasranamam. In the previous episode, we witnessed Lalita Devi's army led by Varahi Devi arriving at the gates of Shunyaka, the capital city of Bandasura's kingdom. The stage was set for the epic battle against ignorance and its forces. But unlike a typical war narrative, the Lalita Sahasranamam doesn't immediately plunge into scenes of violence and bloodshed. Instead, it reveals a surprising and delightful aspect of the goddess, her joy in the face of battle. The next 5 names, starting from the 72nd, describe the delight of Lalita Devi. These names end with the terms like harshitha, samutsuka, nandita, and toshita, all of which express joy, happiness, and delight. So, what brings joy to the goddess? What is it about this war against ignorance that fills her with delight? Let's delve into the 72nd name and uncover its profound message. Bhanda, sainya, vadodyuktha, shakthi, vikrama, harshitha. This name means she who is delighted by the valorous deeds of her Shaktis, who are ready to destroy the army of ignorance. Bandasura, representing ignorance, has an army composed of all the negative qualities that arise from ignorance. The primary consequence of ignorance is the feeling of duality. We forget that there is one divine principle pervading the universe and it is non-different from us. This sense of duality and separation is the root cause of all our suffering, as it creates a false sense of I and mine, what we call ahankara and mamakara, leading to attachment, aversions, and endless conflict. This sense of duality and separation gives rise to the army of Bandasura, the forces of ignorance like desire, anger, greed, delusion, arrogance, and jealousy. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryam. In our culture, these are called the 6 enemies or Arishad Varga. These in turn give rise to other tendencies like attachments, insecurities, and fear. Bandasura's army is indeed very powerful. These 6 enemies, along with the other negative tendencies they generate, form the Bhanda sainya, the army of ignorance that we must overcome on our spiritual path. The Shaktis symbolize the divine qualities of wisdom, compassion, and courage that empower us to overcome these obstacles. The goddess is delighted when our inner Shaktis are enthusiastic and willing to take on the forces of Bandasura. Often, the forces of ignorance seem so strong that we feel the battle is useless. But when we strengthen the Shakti Sena within us through spiritual practices, when we recognize that we are being led by Lalita Tripura Sundari herself, the Shakti Sena discovers its true strength. It becomes confident, ready to face any challenge. That's when the goddess delights. This very same inner battle against the forces of ignorance is beautifully illustrated in the Gitopadesha, the divine discourse between Krishna and Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. The Gitopadesha is a profound allegory for our inner struggle against ignorance. The battlefield of Kurukshetra represents our mind, where the forces of good and evil clash. The Pandavas, representing our virtues, are outnumbered by Kauravas, our negative tendencies. This seemingly one-sided battle mirrors our own challenges in choosing the righteous path. Yet, just as Krishna guides Arjuna to victory, the divine power within us can lead us to overcome our inner demons. This is where the 72nd name, Bhanda Sainya Vadodyuktha Shakti Vikrama Harshitha, connects with Gitopadesha. The goddess delights when we surrender to the divine within, allowing it to guide our actions and decisions. When we align ourselves with this higher power, we tap into the strength and wisdom needed to conquer our inner Kauravas and emerge victorious in the battle against ignorance. Just as Krishna served as Arjuna's charioteer, guiding him through the battle, Lalita Devi, representing the divine within us, guides us through our inner battles, seated on her chariot of Sri Chakra. This name encourages us to nurture our inner Shaktis and actively engage in the battle against our inner demons. It reminds us that when Goddess is leading the way, victory is guaranteed. It is a battle that delights the Goddess, a battle that brings us closer to our own true nature as the divine self. After witnessing the goddess's delight in the valor of her Shaktis, we now turn our attention to a specific group of Shaktis who are particularly dear to her, the Nitya Devatas. The 73rd name, Nitya parakamatopa nireekshana samutsuka, describes the valor and enthusiasm of these Nitya Devatas. The Nitya Devatas, 15 in number, are the closest companions of Lalita Devi, residing in the innermost circle of her being. They are the embodiment of her divine powers, the eternal and ever effulgent aspects of her consciousness. It is said that the total strength of Shakti Sena is about 64 crores, and the Nitya Devatas are the foremost among them. They reside in the 9th Avarna of the Sri Chakra, the innermost circle surrounding the Bindu. Each Nitya Devata presides over a particular day of the month, showering her unique blessings and energies upon those who connect with her. We have already met one of these Nitya Devatas, Jwala Malini, who, as we know, governs the day before the full moon and represents the fire of knowledge. The name Nitya parakamatopa nireekshana samutsuka can be translated as she who is delighted to observe the increasing valor and prowess of the Nitya Devatas. The Nitya Devatas are the effulgent forces of light. Their valor and prowess never diminish but only grow stronger with each victory. Lalita Devi observes their growth and increasing prowess with immense joy and satisfaction, celebrating their victories in the battle against ignorance. These Nitya Devatas are not just any ordinary Shaktis. They are the siddha Shaktis. The term siddha Shaktis refers to the inherent powers of the self, the divine energies that are eternally present and fully realized within us. They are not acquired through external practices or efforts, but are an intrinsic part of our own nature. They are like the sunlight, an inherent property of the sun, always present and needing no effort to acquire. However, just as sunlight can be blocked by clouds or hidden by an opaque surface, our Siddha Shaktis, the ever present effulgent light within us, can be obscured by ignorance and delusion. In contrast to sadhana Shaktis, represented by goddesses like Sampatkari, Ashwarudha, and Mantrini, which are the powers attained through spiritual practices and self discipline, Siddha Shaktis are ever present and require only recognition and activation. They are the dormant potentials within us waiting to be awakened. The Nitya Devatas, as the Siddha Shaktis, represent these inherent divine powers. They are the embodiment of Lalita Devi's own energies, eternally residing within her and always available to assist in the battle against ignorance. This concept emphasizes the inherent divinity within each of us. We are not merely limited beings striving for enlightenment. We are already inherently complete and whole. The journey towards liberation is not about acquiring something new, but about recognizing and activating the divine powers that are already present within us. The term Siddha Shaktis highlights the empowering message that we are not just striving for liberation, we are already inherently liberated. So, the name Nitya parakamatopa nireekshana samutsuka reminds us that we too have access to these inner resources, these divine sparks within us that can never be extinguished. By connecting with these inner Shaktis, we can overcome any obstacle on our spiritual journey and attain the ultimate liberation. The Lalita Sahasranamam introduces us to another powerful Shakti in the 74th name, Bhanda vadodyuktha bala vikrama nandita. This name means she who is delighted by the valor and courage of Bala, who is ready to destroy the sons of Bandhasura. But who is this Shakti who leads the charge against the sons of Bandhasura? She is none other than Bala Devi, the daughter of Lalita Tripurasundari. Bala Tripurasundari holds a significant position in the Sri Vidya tradition. She is often depicted as a 9-year-old girl, symbolizing purity, innocence, and the potential for spiritual growth. Her name, Bala, also means strength or power, reflecting her role as a powerful force in overcoming negativity and ignorance. Bala is also the name of an important mantra in Sri Vidya traditions. In fact, the first initiation in Sri Vidya is often into the Bala mantra. This signifies that her energy and blessings are essential for starting the spiritual journey and attaining siddhis. Bala mantra has 9 syllables, which is why she is depicted as a 9-year-old girl. But who are these Bandaputra, the sons of Bhanda that Bala Devi is ready to destroy? They are the progeny of ignorance and ego. The sons of Bhanda represent the various ways ignorance perpetuates itself through our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This name has profound implications for spiritual practice and personal growth. It highlights the need to address not only the root cause of ignorance, Bhanda, but also its manifestations, Bandaputra, in our lives. Bala Devi, as the embodiment of strength and power, helps us overcome these manifestations of ignorance. She is the warrior goddess who destroys the sons of Bhanda, clearing the path for our spiritual evolution. The goddess Lalita is delighted by Bala Devi's enthusiasm and readiness to fight. She sees in her daughter the reflection of her own power and the potential for transformation that lies within each of us. So, the name Bandaputra Vadodyuktha Bala Vikrama Nandita reminds us that the battle against ignorance is a multi layered process. It's not enough to simply address the root cause of ignorance. We also need to actively confront and overcome its various manifestations in our lives. By invoking the blessings of Bala Devi and cultivating our inner strength, we can conquer these obstacles and move towards liberation with courage and determination. The Lalita Sahasranamam now reveals a secret weapon in this inner struggle, the power to break free from negative influences and attachments. The 75th name in the Lalita Sahasranamam, Mantrinyamba Virachita Vishanga Vadatoshita, highlights this aspect of the spiritual battle. This name means she who is delighted by the accomplishment of Mother Mantrini in destroying Vishanga. Let's break down this name and explore its profound implications. Mantrini Devi, as we know, is one of the Shaktis of Lalita Tripurasundari. She embodies the power of mantras and governs speech and knowledge. Vishanga, on the other hand, is one of Bandasura's brothers, representing the desires arising from the evil effects of the sense organs. Vishanga symbolizes the attachments and cravings that bind us to the material world and hinder spiritual progress. The name Mantrinyamba Virachita Vishanga Vadatoshita expresses the joy and satisfaction that the Divine Mother experiences upon the destruction of Vishanga by Mantrini Devi. It signifies the bliss that awaits those who overcome the attachments to sense objects and sense pleasures. But what exactly is Vishanga and how does Mantrini Devi help us overcome it? The word Visanga means bad association or bad company. It refers to our attachment and identification with the material world, the realm of illusion and impermanence. We are meant to be associated with the Atma, the true self, the only reality in the universe. But instead, we get entangled in Asat, the world of illusions, forming Visanga, false associations that lead to bondage and suffering. This attachment to worldly things, this Sangha, association with Vishayas, sense objects, is what constitutes Vishanga. It is the association with that which is contrary to our spiritual growth, hindering our progress towards liberation. Mantrini Devi, also known as Shamala Devi, helps us destroy this Vishanga. She is the power of focused attention on Atma, guiding our desires towards Atma Jnana, the knowledge of the self. When this desire for self-knowledge emerges in us, It leads to satsanga, the association with what is real, true, and eternal. This satsanga naturally destroys vishanga, weakening our attachment to the unreal and guiding us towards the true self. Mantrini Devi, with her association with mantras and the subtle body, plays a crucial role in this process. Mantras are powerful tools for transforming our mind and purifying our thoughts. By chanting mantras and engaging in spiritual practices, we can refine our senses and weaken the grip of Vishanga, ultimately leading to self-realization. So the name Mantrinyamba Virachita Vishanga Vadatoshita highlights the importance of breaking free from negative associations and cultivating a connection with the true self. It reminds us that the path to liberation involves purifying our inner world and aligning ourselves with the divine. The Lalita Sahasranamam now takes us to Varahi Devi, the destroyer of illusion and the rescuer from the depths of samsara. The 76th name in the Lalita Sahasranamam is Vishukra Pranaharana Varahi Viryanandita. This name means she who is delighted by the valor of Varahi, the slayer of Vishukra. But who is this Vishukra and what does Varahi Devi's victory over him signify? The word Shukra means light or illumination. Vishukra therefore means wrong light or false illumination. It represents the illusion that prevents us from seeing the true nature of reality, the darkness that masquerades as light. Vishukra symbolizes the state of Jiva Bhavam, the mistaken identification with a limited body and mind. It is the force that makes us forget our true nature as the all-pervading eternal Atma and instead creates the illusion of limitation and mortality. Varahi Devi, in her fierce and compassionate form, destroys this illusion and guides us towards our true self. Just as the Varaha Avatara of Vishnu rescued Mother Earth from the depths of the ocean, Goddess Varahi rescues us from the depths of the ocean of samsara, the cycle of birth and death. This is beautifully expressed by Shankaracharya in Saundarya Lahari. Avidyanam antastimira mihira dvipanagari jadanam chaitanya stabaka makaranda shrutijari daridranam chintamani gunanika janma jaladau nimagnanam damshra muraripu varahasya bhavati. This verse describes Varahi Devi as the one who rescues us from the ocean of samsara, Janma Jaladau, just as Varaha Swami rescues Bhudevi, Mother Earth, from the ocean. The danda or staff in Varahi Devi's hand represents the yoga danda, the staff of yoga, symbolizing the power of spiritual discipline and practice. The earth represents Mooladhara chakra, the root chakra at the base of the spine. Varahi, rescuing the earth, symbolizes the rising of Kundalini energy from the Mooladhara chakra, moving upwards towards the Sahasrara chakra, the crown chakra, which is the seat of pure consciousness. This upward movement of Kundalini destroys the Vishukra of illusion and reveals the true light of knowledge. Varahi Devi, with her fierce form, Ugra Swarupam, is necessary to destroy the deep-rooted ignorance within us. She is the Abhaya Swarupam, the embodiment of fearlessness that frightens fear itself. Her name, Varahi, can also be interpreted as Vara Aham, meaning superior ego or higher self. It signifies the shift from identifying with the limited ego, Aham, to recognizing our true nature as the all-pervading Atma, which is none other than Goddess Lalita Tripura Sundari herself. This reminds us of the Dhyana Sloka where we declare, Ahamiti eva vibhavaye bhavani. I meditate on you as myself. The purpose of all our sadhana is to recognize that I am Lalita Tripura Sundari. Varahi Devi is the one who guides us towards this higher identity, helping us transcend the limitations of ego and merge with the divine consciousness. So the name Vishukra Pranaharana Varahi Viryanandita celebrates Varahi Devi's victory over the illusion of Vishukra and her role in guiding us towards our true self. It reminds us that the path to liberation involves dispelling the inner darkness that prevents us from recognizing our inherent divinity. All these five names are a reminder that this journey towards liberation, this war against ignorance, is not a grim and arduous struggle. Unlike worldly battles filled with violence and suffering, the inner battle is a joyous and transformative process. The victory over ignorance is not just one end goal. It's a continuous unfolding of joy, revealing the infinite and inexhaustible bliss of Brahmananda. This war is unlike any other, for it is fought not with weapons of steel, but with the divine powers of wisdom, courage, and compassion. That is why the names describing the war, from Bhanda, sainya, vadodyuktha, shakthi, vikrama, harshitha to Vishukra, Pranaharana, Varahi, Viryanandita, are filled with expressions of delight, enthusiasm, and happiness. They reflect the inherent joy of aligning with the divine, of shedding the limitations of ignorance, and realizing our true nature as the Supreme Self. And the journey continues. Just as the war against ignorance is unique, so too are the divine forces that Lalita Devi employs. In the next episode, we will witness the goddess invoking some truly fascinating powers. Prepare to be amazed as Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, and the Dashavataras, the 10 incarnations of Vishnu, arrive on the scene. But their arrival is not what you might expect. They emerge in extraordinary ways, showcasing the limitless power and creativity of the goddess. These unexpected twists and turns will challenge our understanding of these gods and illuminate the multifaceted nature of the divine play. So stay tuned to discover the hidden depths of these familiar powers and how they contribute to the ultimate victory over darkness. Lastly, I would once again request you to subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell so you don't miss the upcoming videos. I would be really grateful if you hit the like button. Your likes help me reach a wider audience and share this knowledge with more people who are seeking to deepen their understanding of this hymn. If you know someone who would benefit from this series, please do share this video and the series link with them. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May the grace and blessings of the goddess Lalita Tripura Sundari guide and inspire you on your spiritual journey. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Namaste.